Aloha, guys. Let me give everyone. There you go, Cassie. There's yours. She drops her first one down. It's like, oh my gosh, I've lost mine. Now you're jealous. You want the one that you had, of course. Hello, guys. How are y'all doing? I swear, Cassie, if you know my dogs, Cassie is like the smartest of all of them. I've never I can't count how many dogs I've had in my life, but I've never had a dog as smart as that dog is. And also make sure she took that. So she did. Okay, we're good. We're good. She took the treat she wants. So, how are y'all doing? Yes, it's Aloha Friday. We are ready for a good week. Patriotism's in the house. Hey, 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 my dear. Thank you also for all your help with this one. I really want to thank you for this one. I've had a lot of help from people recently trying to help me find cases to cover that really need people to bring attention to the case. And this has been a huge help, especially this case, guys. We talked on Monday about how many of these cases are sounding so familiar. And I'll kind of get into that in a second. But I mean, are we talking coincidences? Are we talking numbers increasing? Is there something else going on? I don't know. And but we also have Lioness in the house, and that's exactly Lioness. That's I actually replied to you right afterwards, actually, Lioness. I was like, I don't know if the numbers of missing men are increasing or is it just the awareness increasing? We know, for example, the number of missing women of color, for example, is huge, much more than we see out there all the time. And all, but it's becoming an issue because no one covers the women of okay color, indigenous women. Okay, okay, anyone of color, it just does not get covered. And it's the same with men. Until recently, has it been? There just haven't been the missing men. No, we know if you've been following missing, you know there's been missing men. It's just we're starting to pick up and make sure they have a voice also. And that's what's important here. So, gee, thank you for listening to my voice that I can't stand. I can't stand my literally can't stand my it drives me crazy. I'm happy you enjoy it. Thank you. Actually, thanks for listening while you're at work. That's literally what I do. I listen to all you guys while I'm at work, other channels and all. And I have to watch it because I'll put it on my phone because if it's on my laptop while I'm listening, I'll start chatting. And you guys know me. I don't know how to shut up when I start chatting. Yeah. So, and Crystola's in the house. By the way, love you, patriotism. Cristola in the house. And yeah, it's a huge problem. Okay, we have a lot of people out there who don't have a voice. That's why when I first started this channel, it was together we can be their voice. That was the tagline that I really, really, okay, it was just something that stuck. Thanks, Crystal. Growing up and all, it was the little Laura Ingalls Wilder voice. Now it's Roseanne Barr. So yeah, and but yeah, no, everyone needs this voice. And recently, gang, and I've got a poll up here. We'll see what people are saying so far. We're at 29% of you have started your diving into Harley's disappearance. 43% of you are saying no, but I'm going to start the diving in now. And 29 is like, you know what? I am following a lot of cases right now. I'm going to listen to this and I'm going to share this out. And maybe I'll look up a little bit more. And so Barbara, how you doing, my dear? Love you, love you, love you, Barbara. Sorry, I'm clicking YouTube chat, not StreamYard chat, and it's not bringing up the right things. Really good, girl. And hello, Barbara. Love you, my dear. And tired as a mother, girl, you have been amazing also with helping this. Okay, I know patriotism helped connect all of us. And guys, this is what I talk. And thank you, Cristola, for sharing out her TikTok. If you don't know Harley's case, go over to her TikTok. She's got tons of information in there where she's updating it and letting people know what's going on. And what I appreciate more than anything is someone who tries to cover cases and research and all. Researching a case is hard. It really is hard, guys. It's a huge help when you have people helping you out, and really a huge help when people send you notes and stuff. And I wanted to say thank you. I really wanted to say thank you, Tired as a Mom, because you sent me a bunch of information, pictures, things like that, that I've truly appreciated. So thank you so much. And guys, keep watching this case because we're going to keep, like we've been doing with Caleb and stuff like that. We're not dropping these cases. We're going to keep covering these cases until the person comes home and there's justice. Okay. Or there's just, however, all that comes together. We are here. And so let's see. So, first of all, who we are talking about today is Harley, who's right up in the corner there, that handsome young man, 29 years old, out of Tyler, Texas. We started doing some quick basic stuff on Monday when we kind of looked at all of the missing young men, specifically from Corpus. But I threw in Harley, because of the fact that so much of this is similar. We keep talking about young men going missing. And I know the numbers have always been out there. There's always been young men missing. But what is getting me right now is the number of similarities, of coincidences, if you want to call them coincidences. I don't know what they are right now, guys, but something is weird. Okay, we've got another case of an avid fisherman, okay, who goes missing at 3 a.m. How many people, guys, tell me in chat right now, who has gone missing around 3 a.m., those early morning hours lately? Now, yes, to some degree, behaviors kind of lead towards that. Okay, we all talk about high risk behaviors, things like that. And you know what? Okay, I know me. If I go out partying at night, I'm putting myself at a higher risk. It shouldn't be a higher risk, but it is kind of. Okay, like when I leave a rehearsal at night, I have to walk through this area that is not the greatest area of town, and it puts me at a little higher risk. And also, I go with my friends. I make sure no one walks alone. And but there's still too many coincidences here. I mean, just way too many coincidences. So we know we have Caleb. We've had Riley go missing. We've got all these, okay, young men who have gone missing. So let's do this. I want to start us off with a quick video so you can kind of get a quick introduction to Harley's mother, because this news station does have a quick interview with her. And then we are going to start breaking this down, gang. There's a lot going on. There's a lot more going on that we may not quite get to today. But we will start discussing and we'll see. Guys, Harley's out there. I don't know if Harley's still in that area. My gut is telling me he's somewhere else. But he's out there. He is out there right there. Okay. We've had Texas Equisearch out there looking, okay, searching for him. They've been out with their drones, with their horseback riding. They've been out everywhere searching for him. His mother is out there every Sunday making sure new flyers are handed out to people, making sure to canvass the area so everyone knows that Harley is still missing. And so please keep an eye out with that. But let's pull this up right now. Oh, yes, totally. And I'm happy you will. And so, okay. Linus, what's the question mark on for my dear? And let me know. And then we'll figure it out. And so here we go. Sorry, usually I make this where you guys do not have tons of weird stuff showing at the bottom. But did I do that this time? No, of course I didn't. There we go. Now you're seeing it nice and pretty. And also, let's get this started and kick it off.
KLTV7's J.D. Conti spoke today with the missing man's mother and Tyler police about this ongoing search.
Somebody has to know something. Somebody had to have seen something. He couldn't have just disappeared.
Wendy Attaway Morris's son Harley has been missing for over 2 weeks now. Last seen leaving the 50 Grand Club in North Tyler on January 21st. Detectives continue to review security footage from the area. EcuSearch, a nonprofit that specializes in missing person searches, is conducting their own search, including horses and dogs and drones. And still nothing.
It's so frustrating as the police when you do the investigation, when you're responsible for trying to locate him, and we're not getting anything that's assisting us in that, and it's hard. It's hard for the family. It's hard for us.
But in the face of a
I'm going to stop that there, because one of the things I'm noticing with this case is there is, just like Caleb, there's very, very little evidence out there. There's very little video footage out there. Okay, I didn't think you could have less video footage than Caleb. This case has less video footage than Caleb, as far as I'm concerned. Officially, there's 2 pieces, but people have only seen one of those. The other one is not being shared because it is privately owned, which I get, which I completely get. I wish people would come out and, okay, you can make sure that video footage does not show other people, but I do understand the fear of sharing video footage and having tons of internet sleuths and all that showing up in your neighborhood and all. However, please share it with families. Please share stuff with families. And that's the problem. I don't see that happening right now. And Sleuth Mom, I love you, my dear. How you doing, my dear? And Barbara, OMG, I know too well when you're wondering, how can someone just ban? Yeah. And Barbara, tired. Barbara actually lost her son and is still going after justice. And so just so you know about that and all the connections here. And that's one of the things is connections so families don't feel alone. And that's one thing that I never thought perhaps social media could help with. But that is what social media is helping with, connecting families who have lost a loved one, okay, and is looking for that loved one or trying to get justice. Hopefully we can connect people where you guys can all talk with each other, okay, because it's helpful when you know you're not alone anymore. And so love you, Miss Sleuth. And by the way, we're on a, for those of you, if you guys like Temu, okay, we have a group of us who click every single day, and we need new people badly. So please take a look, and Sleuth will get that stuff out to you at some point. We'll figure out a way. Oh, and there's Miss In the Bushes. Hello, 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 my dear. You didn't miss much. We're just kind of diving in with our first video, and then we're going to start the real dive in.
Search that has so far been without fruit. Harley's love of fishing sprouted an incredible moment for his mother. She was searching for her son when she came upon a young man who was fishing.
I said, well, in Florida we say tight lines and bent rods, and about that time his line bent and he pulled up a fish and he's like, you brought me luck. So I'm hoping that we'll get Harley's luck of fishing, finding him.
Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward, and the Morris family is also raising money for their own reward.
Reward right now is at $16,000. $10,000 of that is from the family, okay, and $6,000 of that is from Crime Stoppers. So FYI, that's the most current information on that.
For information that leads to Harley.
In hopes that it will be enough to be life-changing for someone so that we can save Harley's life. So please open your hearts out there and think and look at your Ring cameras and just help in any way you can.
JD Conti, KLTV 7 News.
Now, if you've seen Harley or you know anything about this case, you can call the Tyler Police Department at 903-531-1000 or Crime Stoppers. If you call them and your tip leads to Harley Morris, you could be eligible for a cash reward. The Crime Stoppers number at the bottom of your screen, it's 903-597-2833.
2833. Sorry about that. I didn't realize my closed captioning kept popping up over those numbers. But
Begin this hour with a surge.
Let me get rid of that real quick. And hopefully someone out there knows something, guys. Someone out there somewhere knows something. Someone out there saw something, whether it was Harley walking home that night or walking, because there's a good chance he may have been headed in the wrong direction. This was not necessarily an area that he really knew well, gang. From my understanding, okay, this was fairly new to the area. He was still getting used to the area and stuff. Let me pull up my slideshow stuff so we at least have some pictures to share with you guys. Let me do this. Sorry. I hate it when this does this that way. Okay, let me pull this up this way. Let me do it that way and that way. Okay, there. Now it looks right. Yeah, Barbara, it's, you know what it does to a family to not know. He has been missing now since January 21st, guys. January 21st. We're now at 4 months. This is the 5th month we're on now. This is a kid, and I'm saying kid as a 53-year-old, gang, okay, who did not have, there weren't like serious issues or anything that would make them think, oh, maybe he got into the wrong crowd or he did some, okay, or things like that. I mean, avid fisherman, okay, just happened. No history. When you talk to his family's like, there's no history of hard drug use or anything. Yeah, alcohol, yes, weed, things like that, but nothing like really hard. So could he have been going out and trying to connect with things? Yeah, that's the thing. It's 4 months, guys, and how many of us did not know about this case? And I'm going to show you later how this is not the only missing young man in this area. Tyler, Texas. There's a couple others also, which I'll share. It's actually here. I'll do that one right now. Here's 2 others from Tyler, Texas that are missing. Alex Perez. Okay, I was looking at his stuff earlier today. So now, are they connected? Not necessarily. But it's definitely the area he went missing in, okay, Harley went missing in, is not the greatest area of town. Like I said, he's new to the area. Okay, he himself, it looks like when we start tracking him on Google Earth here, looks like he might have actually been going the opposite direction from where he should have been going. However, like I said, very little video footage. And there's got to be more footage out there, guys. What worries me now is when you're talking 4 months, people's video footage is being recorded over now. And that's what's really worrisome. This is why it's so important that these cases come out quickly. Okay, did it, Barbara? It took 5 months for them to find Timmy. And that's the thing. It's, you have hope, and he's out there, and there's still some possibilities. I mean, there's been some discussion about could a quote unquote cult have grabbed him. Doesn't sound like something he would himself have gone out on, but could something have had? Okay, who knows? Yes, Crystal, just so everyone knows, there is no cantina tonight. It's the season of plays for Miss Loco. I am in a show right now. Well, I'm ADing for a show, and we've actually got tech coming up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So hopefully we will be done soon. And so let's start going through what you're seeing here with Harley. I shared on Monday. What you are seeing as the large vertical picture there is one of the last photos of Harley. It comes from video footage. We are going to look at that video footage at one point later. Okay, a different bit of video footage. But this is what he was wearing at the time he went missing. Okay, to give you a good idea. Also, I kind of like it because it does show a little bit about how he walked. Okay, unless this is something different. Okay, hands in pockets. I like to look at people's body. Okay, how does a person hold their body when they walk? Things like that. Because if someone was driving down the road at 4 in the morning and happened to see him, they may not know unless all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, wait, I remember that kind of chat. Yeah. And they can start seeing those types of things. Amen, Cynthia. Amen. Find Harley. And thank you for coming, by the way. And they also have a breakdown of two of the pieces of clothing. Okay, we have the Prime. Okay, he worked at Prime 102. So it's a steak restaurant. And also the hat for that. And then the chef Crocs. Crocs, they're also known as Crocs. But Harley is a chef. And he and his father actually worked at the same location. They both work at Prime. Dad worked during the day. Harley worked night, evening. Okay, restaurant, of course, it's not overnight, but you know what I mean. And so Harley lived with his dad and his ex-girlfriend. Now, couple other things. Okay, they lived there. Mom, on the other hand, at the time lived in Florida. As I said, Harley was kind of newish he was still getting to know the area and all. He used to live in Florida also. Once he went missing, his mother, Wendy, moved to Texas, and she's currently in Texas. So let's start our story. So let's start what happened with this the last time he was seen by family. Last time he was seen by family was the afternoon of January 20th. Okay, around 3:30 p.m. Remember, I told you that his dad and him lived together with his ex-girlfriend, Harley's ex-girlfriend. And sorry, I'm just checking things to make sure I don't get any text messages throughout this. And let me log in real quickly. So his father drove him to work that day. It was around 3:30 p.m. His dad got him in the car. They were heading over to the to the restaurant. While they were driving, Harley realized that his phone was at 4% battery. The question came, is this normal or not? That was normal for him. Okay, to forget things. In fact, on an interview that I saw, his dad had said, hey, he would have forgotten his rear end if it wasn't glued to him. And I know that feeling. I'll show up at a craft fair and realize my phone did not charge overnight. So basically what ended up happening is Harley asked his dad, can you my phone's not going to help me at all. I don't have a cord, anything like that. Can you just take it home, charge it? In the bushes, did it? Okay, if you can send me, anyone have that, send it to me. I'll make sure to pull it up real quickly myself. Let me know. Let me know if you guys have, so that we can pull that up at the same time. As you guys know, we cover everyone. The moment there's an Amber Alert, I want to make sure the Amber Alert is brought up immediately so we can at least share that while we're talking. So I'll keep an eye out in my in Discord real quickly also, just in case it pops up for those of you who are in the area of the Amber Alert. And in the Barbara, I'll make sure to pull it up. As soon as it gets shared, I will pull it up here so that we can get that shared out immediately. And if I have time afterwards and they are still missing, I'll try to get a post posted immediately on it. So he asked his dad, Abby Ford, Arkansas. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do something real quick, gang. I know, and I really apologize. We are continuing. We are not stopping on Harley, but I want to get this out as soon as possible. It's not normal for an Amber Alert to pop up, okay, for someone that age. That's actually pretty, so I want to pull this up very, very, very quick. Not showing on NCMEC, so it might be something just within 14 years old. Okay, yeah, it's not showing on NCMEC, so if anyone has it and can share, even if it's a screenshot on Discord or Facebook, and I will pull it up immediately for you guys. Sorry, I'm kind of looking for it at the same time just to see what I can do. Nope, I don't see anything there. Okay, her name is Abby for oh, no pictures yet. Okay, so we've got an Amber Alert for an Abby Force who is, it looks like 24. Okay, or 14. I'm seeing both numbers there. Out of Arkansas. She is 14. So a 14-year-old, so it should be popping up in NCMEC pretty quickly. So I'll keep an eye out in both Discord. And if one of you guys send it to me, let me know. Joy just got the alert also. Okay, perfect. Again, we are not going to stop on Harley. Harley is okay. I need to make sure that we get Harley out there and all, but I also want to make sure when we have an Amber Alert that we address the Amber Alert immediately. So let's see if I'm getting anything yet. Let me go to Facebook real quick, see if there's anything there. Sorry, guys. Amber Alert, Abby Force. Sorry, gang. Coming up. Okay. Yep. Actually, I'm only seeing one thing so far. So this is brand new, gang. Definitely brand new. Okay. Oh, no, that one's old. Yeah, Crawford County 14-year-old female Abby Force is what I'm showing. Hopefully my crisp is working because a dog is being very annoying right now. Let me Abby Force missing. Let me do that. See if that pops up something a little better. Nope, nothing there. Sorry, gang, gonna get this. A Justice. Nothing there. Hello, Princess Megan. We are right now doing a really quick look into an Amber Alert that's popping up. So I am going to do this, guys, because I'm not even getting anything. I got that there's one out, but I'm not seeing anything specific yet. So if anyone sees anything specific, let me know ASAP so I can go, whether it's Facebook or Discord, and I can pull all the stuff up. I do want to keep talking, though, about Harley and shush a dog up from barking. And so let me just get myself back. So she's 14 years old, Princess Megan. And so Harley, let me pull my notes back out here so I can go back onto this. So on the he went to his dad. His dad was like, okay, so your phone's dead. What do you want me to do? Harley's like, can you take it home? Can you charge it? So that starts with one thing. Harley did not have a cell phone with him at the time he went missing. Why is that important, gang? This is an area that he may not have known real well. I don't know about you. I've lived in Honolulu my whole life, and I still use Waze quite often to get into some areas I don't know as well. Okay, just to make sure I'm getting the right directions and all that. So it's very, very possible that, perfect. Thank you, Crystal. It's very, very possible that he could have gotten turned around. Very, very possible. Thank you, Crystal. I just saw it, in fact. So thank you so much. I'm pulling it up as I'm talking, actually. And okay, here we go. I'm going to pull this up, switch over real quickly to this, and then we're going to go right back to Harley. So please stay on. Please stay on while we do that. Let's see. Arkansas. Here we go. Arkansas Amber Alert, gang. This is Abby. Okay, it is unknown who she's with at this time. Okay, Arkansas State Police have issued an Amber Alert for a teen that went missing on Thursday night. So last night, gang. She's been missing for 24 hours at this point. Authorities say 14-year-old Abby Jolyn Force was reported missing from Cedarville around 10 p.m. on Thursday. She's described as having, and you guys can look at her here, brown hair, blue eyes. She's 5'7", so on the taller side for a 14-year-old, and weighs 165 pounds. She's also noted as having pink braces, so big thing to look for here. Pink braces and a pink nose ring. Okay, I'm sure we're going to get more information on her as time goes on. However, anyone with information on her whereabouts, please contact Crawford County Sheriff's Office 479-474-1721. guys, hit 911. Okay. You see her, you don't have that phone number, call 911. Okay. Just report quick. Okay. We know the danger many times. They're not talking much about how she, okay, did she leave with someone? Um, what happened within that? Sleuth Mom is saying, I bet her favorite color is green. Oh my gosh. It's going to be interesting to see what all we have here. I was going to say pink was her favorite color myself, but that was me. And also, but gorgeous girl, gorgeous girl. I mean, those eyes are absolutely gorgeous. So please keep an eye out for her. Um, they do joy. Okay, but yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. But the reason why I bring that up, honestly, sometimes that even worries me even more because a lot of times in those cases, we very often end up talking about children who may have been led in directions that they did not think they were being led. They were lured away. We don't know that. We don't know that. That becomes a big fear, and no one should be trying to discover, well, is it this or is it that? No, we need to make sure she's safe. Make sure her mom and dad have her home and that she's safe, and then they can deal whatever goes next. So please, yeah, just kidding. Yeah, online community, and that's the thing. That's the thing when I make that online communication. Honestly, scares the hell out of me with these cases, and so that's why I make the comments that I do. So please, I'm going to keep this open, and mods, try to help remind me before I log off to go back and make sure, okay, was she found yet, or if not, get her photo back out there. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it was In the Bushes who shared that initially. Thank you so much. Joy also got the alert, so thank you all so much for all of that. Okie dokie. So let's get going on with Harley. Okay. So Dad took his phone, which leaves him with no real way of navigating an area of town that he may not know about, especially at 3 a.m., which is, of course, the time that we're saying that he was last seen. Okay, it's not an area where you can just walk into an open, okay, store or restaurant and say, oh, how do I get directions to this place or something like that. So lots of concerns on that case. Again, like they said, it was normal behavior. So it's not like, oh my gosh, he left his phone. He never leaves without his phone or something. That's a normal behavior, but it does up risk potential there. And so yeah, nope. And that's it, Sleuth. Yeah, I'm not saying, okay, making a call. Oh, girl. Nope, that's the thing. All of us, our heads go into certain things immediately. And that's what's scary. And so anyhow, though, yes, Crystal, trust me, I'm lost too, but that's normal for me. So okay. So he went to work. He spent his day at work. Like I said, he was a chef at this steakhouse. Okay, Prime 102 is a steakhouse. And actually, I think the 102 comes from the address it's at. I may be wrong, but I think once we pull up the address and Google Earth, that might make more sense. But when he finished, he had planned on coming home with his girlfriend. So ex-girlfriend now. The plan had been he was going to catch a ride with her home. He sent a text to her letting her know that, hey, I got someone to drive me home. So they're like, okay, all's fine there. And what ended up happening was after, okay, he clocked out for the night, they walked over to a bar that they tended to go to all the time. Okay, it's a place called Sports Zone. I'm going to bring up Google Earth at this point so we can kind of bring some of these things up also. I tried to come in here. So here we go. Just FYI, here's Texas. Here's the area of Texas we're talking about. Dallas is somewhere right up into this area. So it's kind of northwest a little bit. And also let's come down here. okay, and get a better idea of where he went that night. I have one thing here that I'm not sure if I have, and tired mom, not sure if you can clarify it for me, but it's the ring cam with West 29th Street. But we'll look at that when the time comes. So anyhow, he started off down here. This is where he worked, Prime 102. Okay. And after, whoopsie, where did that go? Prime 102. Okay, right over here. Okay, after work, a lot of times, they would go over to this area called Sports Zone. It was a bar, 3-minute walk, literally around the corner, and you're there. And that's what they normally did and would do and did that night. Um, and at some point, he and a bunch of his friends decided that they were going to go to a different club. This other club is called the 50 Grand Lounge. Now, prior to doing that, at about 1:28 a.m., okay, so they were over, I suspect at this point, still over with Sports Zone or something, or on their way sometime right around then. He contacted his dad using most likely a friend's phone, is the thought here. It looks like he was out with 4 to 5 other people throughout the night. Of those 4 to 5 other people, only 2 of them are people that his dad knew of. And all. Okay, tired as a mom is saying, we unfortunately at this time do not have access to the footage. Only the parents have seen it due to being, yeah, exactly. And I think I had seen them say that it was on 29th Street, but I'm not sure if that's right. So that's why I'm being very careful about that one or not till I confirm that. So he sent a message to his dad saying, you know what? I invited some friends over. They're going to be coming over to the house to play pool. His dad was like, well, no one's here yet. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's no problem. I didn't want them really showing up until I was there anyhow. I'm going to catch a ride home so we can play pool and all that. Okay, with one of these guys, and we'll come over and play pool tonight. Well, sometime after that, they made the decision. Now, okay, it was 29th and Martin Luther. Okay, perfect. So this is, okay, perfect. We can make sure we catch that correct when the time comes. Thank you. Sometime after that, they decided to switch and go to 50 Grand Lounge. Okay, 50 Grand Lounge is a location that, pull this up real quickly. Okay, it's been there for quite a while. From my understanding, every night is a different night at the lounge. Okay, different themes, things like, it's an event lounge. And also everything's slightly different at times. And it's open to like 6 a.m. or so every morning. So it's got really, really late hours. On the other hand, though, Harley had not, from what the understanding, had never been there before. This was a new location for him. Okay, so it's also sending him into an area of town he's not as used to. So he got a ride with a friend to go to this location, 250 Grand Lounge. While he was at 50 Grand Lounge, from the understanding, there were no fights going, no altercations. It was just a fun night out, like all of us have done. This one picture that you're seeing here right now is actually a picture, okay, of him. You're looking at the back of him with the hat and everything, because as people were trying to figure out what happened to him that night, people submitted pictures and all. And police have been able to go through those pictures and been able to find this one of him talking to someone else. So there was no real, like, oh, there was a big fight or any issues or anything like that. It was just normal night for them. And he did get a ride there. Now, problems begin, and guys, how many times do we say the same exact thing? He had a ride home. The plan was to have this ride home, okay, with this friend. Somehow we know the reason why that friend decides to leave. Okay, in this case, they're all there, and the friend sees his own ex-girlfriend in the club and is like, "Oh no, I'm not hanging out here. This is not, I don't feel okay." I don't blame him, to be honest. Okay, if I saw one of my exes at a club and I just want to have fun, probably not the greatest thing to do. And also, he decides to leave. Now, why did Harley make the decision not to go with him? Okay, there's a lot of thoughts. There were a lot of people there. Why did no one else drive him home? Because he supposedly was walking home that night. Um, in this case, one of the things we've heard is that, again, remember, Harley is a chef. One of the things chefs keep as their own, okay, is their knife bag. It has all their knives in for work. And for some reason, he all of a sudden got the thought that, oh, my knives are in the club, and I guess decided to go in there and would catch another ride. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think anyone is completely sure what happened there. Different stories popping up. You know how things tend to go at that point. Not saying guilt or innocence anywhere there. It's just people going home, trying to find someone else to drive someone home. Okay. And things sometimes get lost in translation. And so, what was interesting with this is he went in there because of what he thought he had left there, and yet the knives were actually in his friend's car. And so his friend leaves at that point. At that point, now we've got Harley at the club. They have now, let's take us where that was. So they went from the restaurant to Sports Zone, all the way down here to the 50 Grand Club up here. Okay, so let's now go into here. This is where they ended, the 50 Grand Club, that little picture that I showed you a few minutes ago. That's where this is located. So, of course, you can see, yeah, definitely where he could walk this, he would definitely need, okay, a vehicle to go this way. Or he'd be walking for a good 8-10 minutes, something like that. And at that time of night, probably not a good thing to be doing. And so he gets there at the 50 Grand Club. He's hanging out there having fun. That picture's taken of him. All that continues going on. Fun evening. At around 3:09, he decides to leave. Now, are all his friends gone at this point? My suspicion is probably, but I don't know for sure. But long story short, he decides he's going to walk home at this point, whether it's out of necessity or just doing it on his own. And we have video footage here. Let me pull it up, of him actually leaving that club at 3:09. It's not a lot. Hey, Jess, welcome, 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 Jess. Hope you're having a good evening, my dear. Hello and welcome. Let me pull this up real quick, share the screen. Boom, boom, here we go. So this is the footage. This is from the Help Find Harley Morris Facebook group. There is some groups out there that are discussing things, trying to make sure, especially right now, that attention is being brought to this case. Because we're at the point that without attention being brought to this case, there's going to be no further information coming out. There's going to be no more hints. We need the information out there. We need people to know we have a reward. If you saw something, say something. So this is going to go over and over and over, but you guys can see there where he just walks out. This is him leaving the club, starting his walk home. Okay, you can see him get near the yellow car there, and then that's it. So I'm going to let it start up over again. There we go. Okay, probably it's been said he's probably had a couple drinks and stuff. He's not stumbling type, okay, but probably like any of us. Okay, we go to a club, we leave at 3 something in the morning. Okay, we're probably at the end of that switch over to water time, where we all switch from drinking to water. Probably at the end of that, still kind of slightly off and all that. This is the last video we all have of Harley. This is it. Like I said, what amazes me in this case is, again, let's go here. I'm going to show it, let it run one more time, and then I'm going to take us back to Google Earth. And also him coming out of the door, kind of puts his hand close to the car, continues walking straight across. Hey, Joy, welcome back. Okay, then walking between that yellow car, and then that's all we have of him. So let me stop sharing this and stop using that. And so this is the area we're talking about, again, 50 Grand Club. So this is the area we are looking at that point. Tired as a mom, I have it pulled up on a different tab on my phone using my yeah, she's really pulled a lot of great information up because it really gives us a better picture of what's going on. And plus, honestly, when people research and deep dive into things like this, it may bring up more pictures or video which someone out there will connect with something they saw. And so let's take us back to here. So here's the club. He's coming out of here. He walks across, okay, and he gets into this area here. Okay, well, I think he's walking this way because the last time he is seen, okay, they mention, let's see, let me make sure I have this. Okay, they have the video footage of him, and then the last known footage that exists, okay, is of him on 29th Street and Martin Luther King. Now, let me do this because I don't think that matches where I had it earlier. So I want to make sure I have this correct. There, let's see where we get. Okay, this is much better than what I had. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, so Martin Luther King, and let me pull up my street. Okay. Okay, Martin Luther King and 29th. Let's see, where is 24th? Okay. Actually, let me have it do that again so it can tell us again. Okay, let me pull this over now. So here's Martin. I hate it when it does that. Okay, let's do it this way then. Okay, clear search. Okay, Martin Luther King we have here, and I'm trying to find where 29th Street comes into. Interesting. Let me try that again. West Martin Luther King. Oh, that's what I've been doing. It was doing that. Okay, so 24th Street. Okay, let's do this. I need to pull this up. Next time we'll actually have this thing bookmarked a little better. But again, what it's showing us right now is he's walking towards this direction. Okay, you've got Texas College up here. Okay, here's where the club is, and he is walking in this direction, it looks like. Okay, which is definitely a little worrisome because the area he's used to. Okay, most of us, when we move into a new location, and this does make sense because I had, okay, so 29th is right here. So where he was last seen is somewhere right in this area, is what I'm taking it from. Somewhere right in this area. Okay, got it. The area he's usually used to is up here, Glass Recreation Center. And it's the same. Oh, that's why it doesn't make sense. Okay, thank you, Tired as a Mother. That it's the same road, which doesn't make a sense. Okay, that makes more sense because I'm trying to make it make sense to me right now, and it's not totally making sense. And but what does make sense, this is the area he's used to. I'm not sure the exact area where he lived and all that, but it's more, okay, it seems like it was more up this area. So when all of a sudden you see him walking further in this direction, it's definitely an area he's not used to. And what also is worrisome, if the last place he saw was somewhere right in this vicinity here, why is no other video footage out there There's a lot of places here. There's a lot of hey Tim, how you doing, my dear? And there's a lot of other places that would have had ring camera footage. There's a couple stores, things like that here. Why is there no video footage of him on foot? That's what family has been told. There's no more video footage of him on foot. So why? The only answer that really makes sense, unless he's somewhere in that area, guys, is if he got into a vehicle. Okay. Could someone have pulled up and been like, hey, come on over, get in the car and come with me? His mom seems to believe that's exactly what happened. But she's saying she knows Harley. Harley knows the dangers of getting into a stranger's car. He's just been in Florida, South Florida. He knows the dangers of doing something like that, especially at 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay, Jess, is this your hometown? Really? Do you know? Okay, can I ask you a question real quick, Jess? Not to put you on the spot. Have you ever heard of Harley? He's been missing since January 21st. I know a lot of us have never heard of Harley. I came across it because of patriotism really helped me out with this. And we've been looking at people in Texas who've gone missing. Otherwise, no. And so, yep, this is Tyler, Texas, Jess. It is. And so if he didn't get into, if everyone's like, no, he would never get into a car that now, guys, we all have to be realistic. If you have been drinking, you may not make the greatest decisions. So I tell people I never say 100% on anything in life. I mean, I literally had someone ask me a question about the show this morning that I know is 100%, and I said 99.9%. Okay, there's always the outlier. But in general, the only people she feels he would have gotten in a car with would be people he knew. Okay, now does that make everyone a suspect? No, they've been cleared, things like that, but we don't know. Jess, only, okay, you had heard about it. Okay, got it, but only one alert went out. And that's the concern, because as you see from this map here, you have how many houses and businesses that might have had footage showing the direction he went. If he did get into a car, okay, what did that car look like? But if there's only one alert, I'm even discovering this with Caleb. Guys, I have that one short that has gotten a lot of views. And it amazes me how many times people are like, oh, I'm from Corpus. I didn't know about this case. And I'm like, you don't realize, because if we all gather our news from different areas. There's Ringo. Hello, Ringo. And we all gather our news differently. And if you don't happen to be looking at the way that it's being shared out, whether that be on the local news channel or text message or whatever it is that they do, then you miss out on this information. And we may have missed out on video footage, plain and simple. So there is nothing now. It's not a safe. And Jess, that's exactly what I've heard too. I don't know if I nope, I did not include it. That area of town, that club specifically has had a shooting in it. Okay, there have been other issues in that area. Again, red flags, things you have to be open to and aware of when you're looking at these cases. Now, let's go through some additional extra stuff outside of the norm. And guys, I am going to try to do another follow-up on this. I've been talking with Tired as a Mother, and hopefully we can get her to come up here and join us so that we can talk about this a little bit more. Yeah, Joy, that's it. Yeah, you usually get your one Amber Alert and you need the radio. Yeah, it's so much. And all that was, and if something happens here or there. Exactly. So what are some of the extra things that are going on? I'm going to go back to here so we have pictures of him and keep him up there focused. As I mentioned, Texas EquiSearch did come in and they have been looking everywhere for him. They used dogs, they used drones, they were up in horseback, trying to find him. His mom is out there every Monday with a stack of flyers, walking around in the community, making sure that people have flyers of him. Okay. She says the community has been very helpful. They've been there to support her and all. Now, there's a lot of interesting, weird dynamics. And you guys know how I am. I don't want to dot. We've got to realize some of what I'm going to talk about coming up here now is getting into thinking, okay, what else could have been going on? Okay, all the questions that get raised and things like that. Number one, as happens with anyone, all friends have been cleared of any issues or anything like that. The lesson, though, from this, guys, if you're with a friend, don't leave until you verify that friend has a way home. Because some of them are like, oh, I didn't know he needed a ride, or oh, we didn't have room, or things like that. And I think that's something us gals tend to do a little bit more regularly. I know, for example, I would do it, but my brother did not do it as well much. Okay, it's just a different thought process. And we did talk about the knives. Now, there's been a lot of weird things going on when it comes to family getting information. Okay, one mom and dad were interviewed on the Pascal show. Amazing interview, guys. Go spend some time watching that to get a lot of in-depth questions. Um, oh yeah, Jess, thank you so much. Right now, I'm going to be sharing if they do any searches or anything. I will definitely be sharing that out, just like I'm doing with Caleb. I'm going to keep sharing things out with this. And we will come back probably next week with another live about him. Ex-girlfriend. Let's address this because I do know there's a lot of people who are wondering when they hear ex-girlfriend and things like that, questions start popping up. There is no suspects or anything like that. In fact, dad's like, I don't think she's involved, but there's some weird feelings there. Ex-girlfriend has been telling some stories that haven't quite matched, telling one person one thing but another person another. However, I do have to say I think a lot of that might be coming from the fact that when someone you are connected with, they go missing, and there's a lot of emotions that are tied to that. And I think right now that's playing with a lot of the stuff. I don't want to go too in depth in that without having other people here to back stuff up. However, there has been a lot of, why was she there? Did she leave? Okay, things on that level. And why did she leave the house? At one point she was asking mom, can I come move in with you? And what the reasons were for that. Oh, in the bushes. Thank you. Okay, because I'm going to come back to this right before we finish this whole live up. I want to come back into that. So, the other thing that I thought very, very interesting, is the bar and the connection in with the bar. Okay, bar being the place he went missing from, the lounge. And first of all, like any other business that has a club in it or something like that, you've got video cameras. This place has video cameras, guys. Yet the family has not been able to see those. They aren't okay. I don't know if the police have been able to see it, because that's again one of the issues is that the police and law enforcement have not been completely open with the family about a lot of these things. And so exactly. Tired as a mom has been really okay trying to support and be there for Wendy. And so, yeah, which is wonderful when you see people who are helping someone, okay, and they just want to be there for that person, to be a support for that person, which is what you're doing, actually. Um, One of the things I've recognized from the discussions is that family is trying to be supportive of law enforcement, but may not necessarily trust law enforcement completely as much as they want to. From my understanding, they aren't getting information about tips and all. For example, mom may know of a tip that has come in because you guys know, okay, especially with social media nowadays, people will call up and say, hey, you know what? I saw this. Okay, I saw that, and tell you the tip. And then you tell them, okay, please call up the police and all that. And they're like, okay, yeah. And you know that they've done that. And then you go and talk to the police and ask for updates. And they're like, oh, there's been no updates, no new tips, no new nothing. And you're like, wait, I'm pretty sure there has to be a tip there. So I think that may be, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the feeling I'm getting from this. Um, there's also with the bar not sharing out camera footage, things like one of the things you saw with Riley is the bar coming out and saying stuff and trying to share what they could share. Okay, whether no matter what you think about it, and I know people have different thoughts and all that, but at least they were out there sharing information. That's not happening here. It can go even further. From my understanding, there is a girl who lives across from Harley and Harley's dad. She was the bartender that night at the bar. She will not talk with mom about what happened that night, which is that guilt or innocence? No, it's not. It's not guilt or innocence. But when you are sitting there and you may have been one of the last people to see someone's loved one, it's helpful when you speak up and talk with them, because otherwise it sounds like you're honestly, this is how I would see it at least. Do you know something and you just don't want to talk about it? Are you scared? What's the reason why? Yeah, these cases are very similar. Riley's case and Harley's case is very similar due to the fact they were both walking out of a bar at 3 a.m. Okay, they had been in there, probably had a drink or stuff like that or whatever, and they leave and they're never seen again. And with Caleb, the similarity is, of course, the fisherman and going missing at 3, not necessarily at a bar, but Riley's is very. And that's kind of just part of me wonders about that. And I don't want to jump into putting things in, but these are the things that were like, if you're trying to keep your mind open to possibilities, not zeroing in and saying, ah, ha, ha, I know what happened or anything like that, but just open to possibilities, your mind is going to play with you. Why is it she won't talk to me? Why isn't she won't tell me what was going on that night or anything like that? And because all that matters right now, guys, is this 29-year-old young man. This young man who was a chef, who was sitting there, okay, and having a fun evening with friends. That's what matters. This young man needs to come home to his family. 4 months is too long. 4 months is way too long. And just like in the case of Caleb, we're now at the point where we need to be looking further out. Because if Texas EquiSearch was looking in the area, and yes, like Barbara knows, he still may be in the area. We found that, okay, in Barbara's case. But he also could be coming further out, working his way further out into the Dallas area. Do people in Dallas know to look for Harley? Are they sharing this information further out in case he is further out? whether it be of his own volition, which does not sound like something that would be something he'd do, or forced through some other means. Someone knows something, and we need to make sure that he continues to have a voice and people continue looking for him no matter what. Okay, we're people looking for road cameras. Okay, I don't know, those of you who live in Tyler, do you guys have traffic cameras, for example? That would be a question I would have. I don't know, Jess, if you know that answer. I know here in Honolulu, we have traffic cameras. You can't go even one block well, in neighborhoods, no, you're not going to have traffic cameras. But if you're out where there are actually companies, you're going to have traffic cameras. So if someone is walking, it's going to catch that person. If someone gets into a vehicle, it's going to catch that person. I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you guys think in chat right now? I'm going to start looking at a couple things because I do want to make sure we go back to the Amber Alert before we're done. But what are your guys' thoughts? And by the way, oh, we have someone just came on into Discord. Hello and welcome, whoever came into Discord. Since you're from there, I'd like to talk to you. Yeah. And that's the thing, people talking with each other, coming up with ideas. I always tell people, it's okay to think and try to get your mind thinking about ideas. Don't zero in. Make sure you're keeping your mind open also. And because you never know what else is possibly out there. And so I'm going to take a look real quickly while you guys are getting back to me on your thoughts and everything. I am going to see if there's any updates on this Amber Alert. And as you guys know, there's an Amber Alert out of Arkansas. I think it was Arkansas that we were hearing from. From Crawford County. No updates on that area. The alert said, okay, they did update. Yeah, the alert states that force is possibly in the Oklahoma City area. So it sounds like they're connecting into her social media and getting a better idea from there. Let me see if there's more updated pictures or anything that I can find, because now, whoa. Okay, so what I can tell you is this. They've actually issued 2 Amber Alerts on Abby's case. One is for Arkansas and the other is for Oklahoma. So they've issued Amber Alerts for 2 different states now. And also we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to pull up one of those right now to see if we're getting any more information. It's the same picture and stuff like that. So, okay. So the big information right now is this. Let me just at least pull this up so you guys can see that. And Jess, definitely do. And let us know. I mean, Discord is there for all of us to talk, come up with ideas, because a lot of times I don't always feel comfortable going into all of my red flag mode here. But in Discord, I'm much more open to doing that because I do realize that's where we're actually picking each other's brain. And in the bushes and zero ideas, that doesn't happen often. No, in the bushes comes up with some great ideas, actually. Okay, let me share out this Amber Alert before I accidentally forget to share it out one more time. So this is Abby Force. Yeah, I noticed that in the bushes. Yeah. Which kind of lets me know that they probably had an idea what's going on in this case. I do find it interesting the Oklahoma thing did not pop up till after the first Amber Alert. It wasn't an Amber Alert put out by 2 different locations at once. It was one, and then 30 minutes later, the second one or something like that. Okay, we've got Angie in here. Oh, Big Grave Evidence and Murder Candy Podcast. Oh my God, I love the new name change. I love that new name change, by the way. Angie said, now that I have a minute to type. When I worked as a service lead at grocery store, I was the last to leave before overnight stock crew locked up. I always made a manager walk you out to your car. Yep, exactly. And I told them I was too cute to walk alone and didn't want to get. Well, you know what though? It is. I mean, when I leave the theater, okay, every single night. It doesn't matter. Okay, there's been a few nights like I stayed later because okay, we had to clean up some areas or whatever. And someone always stayed in there with me. I'd even I was being stupid and saying, "Oh no, guys, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." And but they're like, "No, no, you're not. We're all going out together. I'll help you get cleaned up and do whatever we need to do because we were having to clean up some of the chairs and because we had some fur babies walking on them. And but do that. You have to. Yeah, just and that's also the other thing. Not everyone receives an Amber Alert or any alert for that. Okay, I've literally had times I did not receive an Amber Alert for Hawaii. Okay, T-Mobile was failing on the Amber Alerts for some reason. Okay, some people opt out of alerts. You can do that. Okay, so it's important that we share as much as possible because especially in this case of Jess, it's sounding a lot Jess, Abby. It's sounding to me now like she may have been talking to someone, okay, in one way or another, and ended up maybe that's I can't believe they would wait 24 hours. I mean, guys, every minute is so dang it's frustrating. She's 14 years old. We don't wait 24 hours for a 14-year-old. We're not even supposed to wait for an adult for 24 hours anymore. And so that's just beyond frustrating. So anyhow, if you guys can help me in getting Abby's stuff out, I'm going to try to real quickly. Um, I'm going to log off of this pretty quick so I can at least share out her poster and stuff like that before I head out for rehearsal. However, join us on Discord. Okay, join us on Discord so we can talk a little bit more about Harley, about Caleb, about the connection between all these cases. We can maybe help figure out ways to get their story shared further. Okay, if we increase them in the algorithm, then the larger channels, okay, whether it be larger YouTube channels or something like a Nancy Grace will be like, oh, okay, let's try to set up an interview with family or something like that. And so let's come together. We have power in numbers, guys. Let's use those numbers. And I want to say thank y'all so much again for those who helped me with this case. Um, Tired as a mother. Okay, patriotism. Christola, you're always a huge help. I've got my other ones who are always there helping me. We've all been really busy lately. I really want to thank you guys. Please keep an eye out. If you know anything about Harley, please contact the Tyler Police Department, 903-531-1000, or Crime Stoppers. Remember, $16,000 reward, 10,000 from the family, 6,000 from Crime Stoppers. Call 903-597-2833. Love each and every one of you. For those of you who got in here, Avery, hello, my dear. Those of you that popped in at the end, I did want to say hi, love you, and I will be talking to y'all laters. Aloha, mahalo. Love you guys.